Today we'll look at shlokas 146 and 147. kśharākśharātmikā, sarva lokeśī, viśvadhāriṇī, trivargadātrī, subhagā, tryambakā, triguṇātmikā, svargāpavargadā, śuddhā, japā puśhpa nibhākṛtiḥ, ojovatī, dyutidharā, yaGYa rūpā, priyavratā. So that's what we are going to look at today. kśharākśharātmikā. kśharākśharātmikā. Kshara means anything that is perishable. Akshara means something that is not perishable. Atmika means essence. So kśharākśharātmikā means she is the essence of everything that is perishable and imperishable. So we all would have heard Akshara means letters, right? Aksharam is a letter. And if you see, the letters are always the constant. Letters never change. E, same thing. But the words that we can do with multiple combinations of those letters, those words are all changing constantly, right? If you combine the letters into multiple combinations, you get different words. So the words are considered perishable. The letters are all imperishable. Like that imperishable ultimate reality is the same thing that comes in multiple forms in this universe. So when it comes in these multiple forms, those forms are perishable, but the ultimate reality itself is imperishable, and she is both that imperishable and perishable. That's why she is kśharākśharātmikā. Sarva lokeśī. Sarva loka ishi. Sarva means all, lokam means world, and ishi means ruler. So she is the ruler of all the worlds. So lokam, lokyate iti lokaha. So if you can see it, then that's called lokam. So she is the ruler of all the worlds. Viśvadhāriṇī. Vishvam means universe. Dhāriṇī means one who holds it. So the entire universe is contained within her. Therefore, she is viśvadhāriṇī. Trivargadātrī. Trivargadātrī. 3 means the number 3. Vargam means category. And Dhatri means one who is capable of giving. So trivargadātrī means one who is capable of giving 3 categories of things. So what are those 3 categories of things? If you look at all human beings, all our actions are always towards one of the 4 goals. And they are called as purusharthas. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. These are the 4 things that drive all our actions. Everybody is doing something towards it. Dharma is the set of conduct that allows us to be in harmony with other people, harmony with the universe, and harmony within ourselves. So that's called as dharma. And therefore, there are many things that qualify for dharma, right? If you can donate money, that is dharmam. If you feed someone who's hungry, that is dharmam. If you make someone study, if they want learning, then you do that, that is dharmam. So or if you build a hospital and take care of the sick, that is dharmam. So many things can be categorized into dharmam. Similarly, artha is everything that is material prosperity, all the riches. And the riches can be money, all the jewels, the property, and sometimes you can also extend it to having a good family, having children, all those are also riches. So all that is categorized into material prosperity. And then kama is pleasure. Many things can be pleasure, seen as pleasure. So in music, singing, painting, dancing, just going on a hike, all these are categorized under kama. And we go to the last one called moksha. Moksha means liberation. And what is liberation? Liberation means wanting nothing. Freedom from everything is called as moksha. Therefore, moksha cannot be categorized into anything. It is unique. There is no category called moksha. It is just unique. So, she is capable. That's why it's called as apavargam, because it has no category. It's on its own. So, she is capable of giving us the 3 vargam, the 3 things that can be categorized. So basically this nama means that she is capable of giving us dharma, artha and kama, which all makes our life pleasurable in this world. Subhagā. Subhagā means good fortune. We've all heard saubhagyam. Subhagā is the root word for that. Saubhagyam means getting all the prosperities. And so she is that prosperity. She is the good fortune. And also another way to look at it is you can break this into su and bhaga. Su means good. Bhagam means all the qualities, 6 qualities. When one possesses, we call them Bhagavan or Bhagavati. So those who have that status of Bhagavan will possess these 6 auspicious qualities: omnipresence, omnipotence, omniscience, strength, and then detachment and splendor. These are all the things that make someone qualify as a Bhagavan. So subhagā means she is one in whom all these 6 qualities, she is well endowed with all these 6 qualities. Therefore, she is subhagā. Triyambakā. Triyambakā means 3 again, his the number 3. Ambaka means eyes. So one who has 3 eyes. So the sun, moon and fire are her eyes, and therefore she is Triyambakā, in that she is similar to Shiva, that she has 3 eyes. Triguṇātmikā. 3 again is the number 3. Gunam are the attributes, and Atmika means she is the essence of all these attributes. So the 3 gunas, and that is what drives everything in this world. Everything in this world contains one of these 3 gunas. It's a combination. One is mix and match only, all the time. So the 3 gunas are rajas. Rajas is what drives action, dynamic movement. That is called as rajas. So passion falls under rajas. And then tamas. Tamas is lethargy. Anything that drives inaction, sleep, destruction, all of those comes under tamas. And then there is satvikam, which is the balanced, calm mind, where everything is clear, or we are calm, and those are all the things that qualify under satvikam. So she is the essence of all these 3 attributes. Svargāpavargadā. Svargāpavargadā. Svargam means heaven. And apavargam we just saw. Apavargam means moksha, that is liberation. So svargam is heaven, apavargam is liberation, da means one who is capable of bestowing. So she is capable of bestowing svarga and moksha, liberation. So why is the svarga and liberation combined? So according to our rules of karma, if we have punyam, then we go to the svargam. But punyam, when you go to that svargam, which is where Indra and everybody is there, it's supposed to be the most beautiful place and all that. That's like staying in a luxury hotel. As long as you pay, you can stay in the hotel. If you don't pay, you have to leave. That's not your home. It's not a permanent thing. So with svarga also, as long as we have punyam, we can stay there. Once punyam quota is consumed, then you have to leave. Whereas this apavargam is a permanent boy. It's like our home becomes the luxury hotel. So that is where it's Vaikundam and Kailasam, where it is permanent, and at that time you never have to leave. So she is capable of granting whatever it is. Of course, for some of us, if we get the dharma, artha and kama, life in earth itself can be that svarga. So you can look at it that way also. Śuddhā. Śuddhā means one who is pure. Japā, puśhpa, nibhākṛtiḥ. Japā is the hibiscus flower. Pushpam is flower. Nibha means like. Akritihi is form. So her form is like the hibiscus flower. So you can see hibiscus is red. And then you also know that within hibiscus, there is something sprouting from that, right? There is something coming out. So like that, this entire universe is blooming from her. So she is Japā, puśhpa, nibhākṛtiḥ. Ojovatī. Ojas is the vitality. It is what makes someone feel alive, be strong and endure anything that's coming. So that is the life essence. Right from and only when there is ojas, there is the ability to have life, grow and develop. So this ojas is something that starts from the time that the embryo is born, from that time. So it is the essence, it's the vitality that is the life-giving force. So she is that vitality, that is the life-giving force. Dyutidharā. Dyuti means radiance. Dhara means one who possesses radiance. So she is the one who possesses that radiance. yaGYa rūpā. Yajñam means sacrifice or ritual, the homam that we do. Rūpā means form. She is in the form of that sacrifice. So if you look at all this yaGYa, whatever homam we do, there's one common thing. We always give something into the fire, offering into the fire. It's a chief component of all the yaGYas. So what is that symbolic of? It is actually getting us to practice to let go something that is ours and give it to someone else. and that to do it with humility and love and caring. So that's what this is practiced for. So yaGYa rūpā means actually she is fond of the sacrifice. So we all know this, right? Kayena vacha manas indriyerva buddhi atmana prakriti svabhavat karomi yadyat sakalam narayana iti samarpayami. So through our senses, through our body, because of our nature, whatever we do, if we think everything belongs to her and nothing belongs to us, that is the highest sacrifice. And when we are having an attitude like that, that means every single day we are in prayer, every single moment we are in prayer. And that is the kind of sacrifice that she is the form of that. She is the one who encourages to have that sacrifice, and she is the form of that sacrifice. Priyavratā. Vratam means vows, right? It is, some people will fast, some people will not sleep. Shivratri, you're not supposed to sleep. Vaikunṭha Ekadasi, you're not supposed to eat. So she's fond of all the vratas. Why? Does she like us not to eat and sleep? No. It's when the body is deprived of its usual luxuries, at that time the ability to have spiritual wisdom grows, and therefore it's taking us towards the path of that wisdom and clarity, and therefore she is fond of those vows. So with that, we have looked at all the meanings of the namas. So let's look at a story related to the nama Triyambakā. Triyambakā, we said, is one who has 3 eyes. So one day in Kailasam, Shiva and Parvati are sitting there, and then Parvati is turning to Shiva and she's telling, Shiva, I'm looking at you, I'm looking at your eyes, and they're so full of compassion. But how is it that the rest of the world knows that these eyes can be really wrathful, they can be angry, and they burn anything when they are angry? And we all know Kamadeva got burnt. So how is it that when I see you, there is so much compassion in these eyes, but these eyes also have this inherent fire? And if you see, eyes are actually watery, right? How can there be fire in the eyes? Where did it come from? So she's asking this question to Shiva. And she's saying, you should not hold back anything. Whatever there is, you have to tell me the full secret behind that. And obviously, if Parvati is asking, Shiva is not going to say no. So he said, of course, I will tell you everything. I won't hold anything back. Actually, she knows everything. It's not that she's wanting to know, and that's why she's asking. She is Lokamata. She wants to make sure her children don't miss out on any secrets from Shiva. Therefore, she will ask all these questions for our thing. So all this comes in what's called as Netra Tantra, and it's all about Shiva's eyes. So Tantram is always something that is between two people, a guru and Sishya kind of thing. So as soon as Parvati asked, then Shiva is telling her. He says, the fire inherent in my eyes, it is the immortal elixir. We call it Amritam. He says that's the Amritam. And it is the source of life for all the living beings. And it is the Ojas, the one that grants life, or the essence of life, one that gives vitality. And it does not have any origin. It doesn't have an origin, but it is all pervading, and it is very pure. And it is the core strength, the inner strength that is present. And he says it is the power of will. And we call in this, even Lalitha Sahasranama, we say Ichcha Shakti. That Ichcha Shakti is the cause of the creation itself. So it is Ichcha Shakti, and within it is the seed for the power to know and the power to act, which is Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti. So he's saying, my 3 eyes are the Ichcha Shakti, Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti, and that is the power through which I am able to create and destroy. So that is the inner strength. And he says, it's not just that I have this fire in my eyes. Every living thing has this fire, and it resides in their heart. And it represents, or it manifests itself as their own radiance. But only a person who is connected with me, or who is surrendered, united with me through yoga, will be able to understand that they have the same. Otherwise, someone who does not have that effort will not be able to know that. And he says, anyone who follows the mantras will know this to be the Mrityunjaya mantra. So We all know this, it's part of Rudra. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugantim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityur Mukshyai Mam Amritar. So he says this is known as the Mrityunjaya mantra. It is also known as the Trayambaka mantra. It's also known as the Rudra mantra. So if you look at it, the first thing, it talks about Tryambakā. So it's calling Shiva as the three-eyed one. There are many ways to call Shiva. Why is Shiva addressed as Tryambakā? Anytime the three eyes are addressed, the third eye always represents the ability to know, the perception, to know the past, present and the future. The two eyes that we have, it can only see what light can pass through. But there is so much in this universe that light cannot pass through. We cannot see air, but it exists. So there is so much. So Trayambakam, Rudra or Shiva is considered as the epitome of wisdom. And Yajamahe, there are so many words to use. Pranamami, Dhyayami. They use the word Yajamahe because it comes from the root word called Yuj. Yuj means to unite, to completely surrender. When we surrender, everything that is ours becomes them. That means we are one and the same. That's why it's Yajamahe. Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam. Sugandhim, Gandham means smell. Sugandhim means fragrant smell. So Shiva is referred to as a fragrant one. Pushtivardhanam. Pushti means strength. Vardhanam means increase. So Shiva is the one who nourishes everybody. That is one way to look at it. So we also said Gandham means smell. And all of us have what's called as vasanas. And that vasana is the conditioning that we all have inherently in us. And this conditioning is what makes us uniquely us. This is the grooming we have gone through our life experiences, because of the family we are born in, because of the experiences we have gone through, so many things, or the environment we are in. So that is called as vasanas. And those vasanas are so subconscious for us, we'll just immediately act. And that vasanas are all in the Ajna Chakra. Even in Lalitha Sahasranamam, you will see Ajna Chakrantaralasta Rudra Granthi Vibedini. That Rudra Granthi is where all these vasanas are there. Unless that vasanas are all gone, then we cannot achieve liberation. So Sugandhim means cleanse our vasanas. Let all these vasanas become pure and better. Pushti Vardhana. Pushti means strength. So increase our inner strength, nourish us, and so that we are able to pursue in this path. Urvarukamiva. Urvarukam is like cucumber and melon. They're called as cucurbits. It's a category of plants. The thing is, these plants, these vegetables, they actually grow in a vine. Okay, but what happens is when the vegetable is ripe or when the fruit is ripe, then you can just, with a gentle nudge, it will just come off of the vine. It will not stay with the vine for a long time. It can easily let go of the vine. Like that, urvarukamiva, like that cucumber or melon. Bandhanan. Bandham means bond. All the things that make us feel like we are attached to this life. They give meaning and purpose. But all the things that give us meaning and purpose also bind us to this whole samsara. Therefore, the bandhanan can be bonds we follow, or they can become bondages we have. So he's saying those bondages and mrityu, the death. Mukshyai means liberate me. Mam amritat, lead me towards immortality. So it's saying that just like that urvarukam can just with a simple nudge it will come. Shiva, please nudge me and give me this ability to let go of things easily and liberate me from the cycle of birth and death and lead me towards immortality. So Shiva is saying this Mrityunjaya mantra is the essence of his eyes and the fire in his eyes. And the moment we say Mrityunjaya mantra, the first thing we'll all remember is Markandeya. Right? There was once a sage called Mrikandu, and sage Mrikandu's wife was Mridavati. And these two were in an ashram, and they had lots of these children who would come, and they were highly spiritually endowed, and they were giving knowledge to everybody. And these people, everybody respected them. Life was very good for them, but there was only one concern for them. They didn't have a child of their own. and that remained a problem for them or a worry for them. And so Sage Mrikandu's wife said, why don't you go pray to Shiva? He is so generous. If he asks, he will definitely bestow a child for us. Please go pray to Shiva. So Sage Mrikandu went, sat under a tree, and then he held the form of Shiva in his heart, right? That Shiva, where he has these three eyes, the eyes brimming with compassion. There is a smile in his lips, and he's wearing the deer skin, and then he's sitting there with Ganga flowing out with the moon in there. He's thinking about this Shiva, and as he's going deeper and deeper, the form in his heart now suddenly is all pervading, it's everywhere, and he's become so in with Shiva. And Shiva, there's only one thing Shiva can be won over with, and that's bhakti. He doesn't want anything else. And when you have this much bhakti, he comes and he came and said, Mrikandu, what is it that you desire? And Sage Mrikandu smiled and he said, don't you know what I desire? You know everything. I want a child. And then he said, absolutely, you can have a child, but you have a choice to make. The choice is that you will have a child who's extremely intelligent, who has such great character, whose fame will last forever, but he'll only live for 16 years. Or you have the choice of having a child who will be very dull, who will have a bad conduct, but will live for a long time. You tell me what you choose. Sage Mrikandu didn't even think twice. He immediately said, no, I want a kid with a good character, because someone with a bad character is a problem for themselves and for the rest of the society. Therefore, I want only a good child. So Shiva immediately granted it. In due course of time, his wife got pregnant, and then there was a baby that was born. As soon as the baby was born, there is like this stages around this baby, and when they are looking at, the astrologers are coming and looking at it, everybody is saying, until the day sun and moon are there, this kid's fame will exist. That's kind of thing. And then they named the child Markandeya. And Markandeya grew up every day, and then at the right time he had his Upanayanam, and therefore he started studying, and he had this amazing ability to perceive, the ability to learn, the intelligence. And it's not just reading the Vedas, he was able to perceive the truth in that Vedas, and those are two different things. Understanding is different from knowing. Those are two different things. And therefore everybody was so proud of Markandeya. And slowly the time has come. Now Markandeya is going to turn 16. And then he is realizing his parents are always sad. Something is bothering them, and he can tell it's bothering them. So he asks, what is it? Why are you all always sad? I've never seen you like that. You are able to take everything with a stride in life, and what is happening here? And then they let him know that, because Shiva said 16th birthday, he will die. And at that time, Markandeya said, no, Shiva is great and he's very generous. He will not let this happen to me. I'm going to go and ask Shiva to undo this. And therefore, he goes to the temple and he's sitting there and he's praying to Shiva. He's completely lost in that prayer. And then the time has come. It's his 16th birthday. And we all know Yama is Dharmaraja. Not a second before, not a second late. He follows his, right? So he sent all his Yama Dutas. They are not even able to get anywhere near Sage Markandeya, because it's all, the Tejas is so much that nobody is able to go through. Now Yama decided, okay, fine, I'll go get the job done. So he came all the way and he was going to get Markandeya. And as soon as Markandeya saw Yama, obviously anybody who sees death is afraid of death, and therefore he immediately hugs the lingam. And Yama did not stop at anything. He is like Karma Yogi. He went ahead, he threw his noose at Markandeya, but unfortunately the noose also fell on the Shiva lingam. That's it. Out came Shiva with so much anger, and with his Trishulam he immediately killed Yama. That's why he's called as Kalantaka. The moment Yama was dead, everybody was shocked. And they said, oh my gosh, if there is no death, then earth will get congested. This cannot be sustained. Yama is needed, and this is important. And therefore even Markandeya said, that is not right. Yama should be revived. He was only doing his duty. And so Shiva told Markandeya about the Mrityunjaya mantra, and he revived Yama, and he said on one condition, Markandeya lives forever and he is permanently 16. So that is how the Mrityunjaya mantra was given by Shiva to sage Markandeya. And it is said that sage Markandeya gave that to Chandra. And as you all know, Chandra married 27 daughters of Daksha. And but he always liked Rohini. He was favoring only Rohini. The remaining 26 were very upset. They went to their father and said, "You ruined our life by giving us to someone who doesn't even care about us." So immediately Daksha, on behalf of all his daughters, went to Chandra and said, "You better treat my daughters properly. You can't just be favoring Rohini alone." Chandra looked at him and said, "Look, I'm providing well for all your daughters. You don't tell me how to treat my wife. You go mind your business. I know how to deal with it." Daksha obviously couldn't take it. He's full of ego. That's it. He got mad and he cursed Chandra and said, "You know what? You are so handsome. You're so full. And that's why you have this audacity to come and tell me to go mind my business. That's it. You will fade away." Okay? And as soon as Daksha gave the curse, Daksha is a Prajapati. He's the son of Brahma. His curses will stay valid. It doesn't matter he is Chandra or not. Now Chandra is terrified. "Oh my gosh, now I'm going to fade away. I'm going to be nothing." And so he runs to Brahma. And Brahma says, "I can't do anything with the curse. There is only one person who can help you. Go and ask Shiva." And therefore, it is said that sage Markandeya gave the Mrityunjaya mantra through Sati to Chandra. And Chandra went to the Somnath. And in Somnath, he chanted this Mrityunjaya mantra so many times, crores of times. Obviously, Shiva was very pleased. And then Shiva came and he reversed that curse. I mean, he didn't reverse the curse. He said that, for about 15 days, you will fade away. But don't worry. After you fade, you will come back to full. So you will not permanently go away. And that's how the waxing and waning of the moon came about. The lingam that Shiva worshipped, it's in the Somnath. And it is one of the 12 Jyotirlingas. And it is actually the first Jyotirlinga. So this Mrityunjaya mantra, and you all know sage Markandeya wrote the Chandrasekhara Ashtakam. It says, "Chandrasekhara, Chandrasekhara, Pahimam, Rakshamam, Chandrasekhara Mashraye, Mama Kim Karishyati Vayyama." When Shiva gives you refuge, the Chandrasekhara gives you refuge, then what can death do to anybody? And so, this is how Shiva came to be known as Chandrasekhara, and because Chandra was still afraid of Daksha, he said, "Okay, you can stay on my head, so Daksha won't do anything to you." So that's how he became Chandrasekhara. So it's also said that this mantra, the Tryambakā mantra, is also called as Mrita Sanjeevani mantra. Some people believe Mrita Sanjeevani is a combination of Gayatri mantra and Mrityunjaya mantra, but some people believe Mrityunjaya mantra is Mrita Sanjeevani. And that was something that was given by Shiva to Sukracharya. And Sukracharya literally hung upside down on a tree and not eating anything. And the Devas didn't want him to get the boon from Shiva. And therefore, they actually lighted all the leaves in the forest and created a smoke. And then Indra's daughter put some chilies also in there so that he will let go of his penance. But Shukracharya, who is the Asura Deva, Asura Guru, he did not let go of it, and Shiva was pleased. Shiva is always pleased by immense devotion, and therefore Shiva gave him the Mrita Sanjeevani mantra. Today is Mahashivratri, and it's also Shukravaram. So Shukracharya is special in that. So we've looked at all of this. So what is this Mrityunjaya, conquering the death? Is it living forever? Actually, it is not living forever. If you look at both Chandra and Markandeya, when they saw Yama, they were afraid. When there was impending death, they were afraid. So Mrityunjaya means conquering the fear of death, not defying death itself. It is conquering the fear of death. For those of you who are Harry Potter fans, in Deathly Hallows, there is a tale of three brothers who defy death, right? The first one went and got an elder wand because he wanted to fight death. And he thought by holding that power he can. That didn't work. And then the second one thought, "Oh, I'll get the resurrection stone and I will undo what death did." That also didn't lead because his life became miserable. The person who was revived did not interact with him the way he expected. Ultimately, he killed himself in order to go join with. But the third brother was very smart, said, "Don't follow me and give me the cloak of invisibility." So then The third brother took the cloak of invisibility, lived the life that was free from the fear of death, and on the day he was ready, he took the cloak out and then went and met death as an equal. So that is what Mrityunjaya mantra says. It is not conquering the death itself, and by not dying, it's conquering the fear of death. In fact, there is a lot of theme also. We spoke about vasanas. If you think about something that is common for all human beings, there is fear. Between fear and anxiety is where all our lives are, right? It's not just fear of death, fear of losing what we have, fear of failure. All of these are the way we live our lives that drives all our actions. And if you see in Rudram, where this Mrityunjaya mantra comes, in Rudram, what it is trying to tell us, Rudram starts with Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. The Rudra is one who's angry. Rodayati iti Rudraha, one who makes you cry, one who is angry, one who is wrathful. There is nowhere in any sloka we'll go and say God is angry, God is wrathful. We'll always say, every sloka will say God is great, God is compassionate. But Rudram is very special in that it says, first thing, in the first Anuvaka, what they say is, Rudra, turn away your terrifying form, put away all your weapons, please don't hurt us, please listen to us. That's where it starts. But that same Rudra can also become Shiva. By 8th Anuvaka, we are saying Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva is the most generous God that we can come across. He's sitting there in the Smashana Bhumi. You know why? Because if he's sitting in the temple, some people may go to the temple, some people may not go. But one place everybody has to go is the cremation ground. So he's sitting there so that he can give everybody the blessings and anugraham. That's why he's sitting there. He's that kind of a generous God. So if you see, the same Rudra can also become that generous Shiva. So what Rudram is trying to tell us is, in life, there is always two sides to everything. There is success, there is failure. There is joy, there is sorrow. There is light, there is dark. But as human beings, our problem is that we like success, we don't like failure. We have decided failure is bad. We like all the joy, we don't like sorrow. And therefore, we are always constantly trying to choose one side of the equation and avoid another side of the equation. But in life, it doesn't work like that. Either we accept both or we reject both. In the Mrityunjaya mantra, it's saying reject both. Reject the samsara, the cycle of birth and death, and attain immortality. Obviously, we are not that realized beings, so we all live in this. So our choice is to accept both. When we approach life with that acceptance, when we adjust our attitude and outlook towards accepting what comes into our life and working with it, then we avoid the stress that is associated with it. And when there is no stress, life is happy. When there is no stress, we are all healthy. And that's where the stress actually affects all this ojas, the vitality, the radiance that we feel. So when we avoid that stress by adjusting our outlook and attitude, by accepting what happens in life and treating both of them just the same way, then it will be a life of health and happiness. And that's what Mrityunjaya mantra offers. And today on Shivaratri, I wish you all good health and lots of happiness. That's all for today.
Thank you. Thank you, Savi. Thank you.